So Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have reached out based on a ransom note. Now, we received an alleged ransom note that we forwarded on to the authorities, to the Sheriff's Department. The FBI called us a few hours later, had a bunch of questions about that note.
Right. And there were a lot of things that we discussed with them that we made an agreement with them that we would not disclose just for sake of the investigation.
Right. Now, this alleged ransom note that we received, there's a lot of detail in it, and we're not going to be specific about that. We will say this, that when you look at the plea that Savannah Guthrie made yesterday, saying we're ready to talk, there are deadlines, I say plural, deadlines in this letter, and one is looming.
Right. If this isn't indeed a legit letter, and whether it's this letter or one of the other ones that was sent out.
And the other ones may be the same as ours.
It may be the same. We just don't know. But it seems pretty clear that the FBI and the authorities are taking something serious from the abductors.
Now, as far as...
That's why the family would sit down and make that video yesterday.
And as far as the letter we received, they mention 2 items in this letter, and I think they're trying to show we're for real. Now, again, we are saying this is an alleged ransom note. We don't know. These are actually people who have Savannah's mother. We don't know. But they mention 2 items, and they describe certain characteristics, and those characteristics, and in one case, the item itself, has not been made public.
And our information is correct. The 2 items that are mentioned are correct.
And so
that part certainly to the authorities would say these people are serious and they actually do have Nancy.
So the final thing about the letter, and again, we're not going to get into all the details, but when the family is reaching out to say we're ready to talk, this letter suggests no talk. That was made clear right at the beginning.
Yeah, and so I think that the family sitting down and speaking that way, that they are trying to change the minds of the abductors and hoping that they actually will, one, provide that proof of life, but also clearly there was an attempt to humanize not just Nancy, but also themselves, to say, look, we desperately want our mother back. So whether or not that works.
And one of the reasons that this alleged ransom note, it gives me pause, is that we didn't receive it until 3 days after the abduction. That is odd to wait 3 days if indeed they have kidnapped a woman who is
elderly
ill,
woman who needs medications.
Has a pacemaker.
And if she doesn't have those medications, why would you wait 3 days? And again, I'm not saying we don't know whether it's legitimate, but that does seem odd that why wouldn't it have come a couple of days earlier?
Right. And, it's interesting that depending on where, if this were true, that they do have her, and she doesn't have her medication, and they need to show proof of life, it would be interesting to know who has gone to a drugstore to get
whatever
this medication that she's
needs.
taking. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the things the authorities are doing right now. So, again, we're not going to get specific. This letter is very detailed, but the way everything aligns and the fact that there is a looming deadline, again, not the only one, but there are 2 in there, that I think it was just interesting timing what happened yesterday.